What's up, everybody? Coach Milfs here, coming at you with a brand new Overwatch video. And in this video, we gotta break down the top 10 teammates that you get in Overwatch that just throw your games every single time, or they're just the most tilting people to play with. So we're gonna break all that down. But go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for in-depth advanced VODs, tips and tricks. We got map guides, hero courses. We got everything you possibly need on the GameLeap website. So go check it out in the links down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, kicking it off with the first teammate that you get in Overwatch, and this one is the iconic teammate. Everyone has had this teammate before, and it's the I need healing teammate. Now, notoriously, or the meme goes, it's Genji, right? But really, this could be anyone who really just likes to spam that they need healing without any regard for where their healers actually are. They could be spawn camping an enemy on a 2 CP when your team is fighting on the first point, and they're at the second point spawn, and they keep spamming for heals. Whatever the case may be, these people really just don't know what kind of healers they have, what kind of ranges that their healers can heal in. Like, if they have a Lucio that's with their team, they can't possibly get healed across the map, and if they're trying to get heals from Ana, they need to be in that Ana's LOS. This one might be one of the most tilting types of teammates that you could possibly get in Overwatch. But let's move on to number 2, a type of teammate that you sometimes get. Sometimes it can be a blessing, sometimes it can be a curse, but it's the all aim no brain type of teammates. And these are players that obviously have good mechanical skill. They came from some other game, they came from Counter-Strike, they came from Valorant or Rainbow Six Siege or whatever, and they can click some heads. You know, often they're playing a character like Widowmaker, they're playing a character like McCree, and they are really doing some really impressive mechanical things, but you often find them walking into the enemy team, dying to tanks, really not understanding how to use their ult and not instantly die, and more than likely you're gonna find them high nooning in the back of the enemy team and then insta dying. But sometimes having an all aim no brain player still gets you that dub, so it's not the most tilting teammate in the world, but it is rather frustrating when you know so much about the game and you look at this person that knows next to nothing and he's in the same rank as you. Now moving on to the next type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, and this one, it might just be the worst teammate that you could possibly get, and it's the don't say a word until you've already basically lost the game and they only talk to flame. You've probably had these type of people in your game. They completely remove themselves from discourse, they don't offer up any suggestions, they don't try to make any call outs or strategies, and they don't even say a word. In fact, you don't even think they have a mic until right when you're about to lose. They flame you, they flame your mother, they flame everyone else but themselves, and then they dip out before you can say a word back to them. Isn't this just one of the most tilting type of teammates that you could possibly get in Overwatch? Yes, it definitely is. Now moving on to the next type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, and this is what I would call the one-man army, but it's not because this person could dominate like a one-man army, it's because this person thinks they are a one-man army. More often than not, you're gonna catch this person dying on cooldown because they always go in solo. Their timing is completely disconnected from everyone else on your team. They're pushing up when your team is dead, or they're just going in and trying to fight 1v4, and maybe they'll even yell, "Hey, he's weak, he's one, where are you guys?" And he just keeps consistently dying again and again by himself. This happens even more so when the character is like someone like Tracer, right? And they, of course, can get to the team fight way quicker than the rest of you because she has many blinks, and they use all their blinks, they get to the team fight, they start doing damage, they die, and they're like, "Where's my team at?" And it's like, hey, you went way ahead of the pack, you're not timing your engages with the team. I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to this one, and smash that like and subscribe if you do. But moving on to the number 5, the 5th type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, and it's the kills a lot in a lost team fight. Now, most commonly seen using their ultimate in a 1v6 scenario, and they do get a lot of kills. They might have gold damage, they might have damaged medals, and in their mind they're amazing, but more often than not they get all their kills when there's no possible way that you can win the fight. All of you have died except for that solo Genji who played to get to 3k and then dies. Well, guess what? Those 3 kills didn't do anything, but in his mind he's the fucking GOAT. Now, it's even worse because a lot of the time, this player does next to nothing until the fight is no longer winnable. Like, it's a DPS that will never get first pick or first blood. It's a DPS that will not peel or do anything else, and they do all their playmaking when it's not gonna matter in any type of way. And this can be incredibly frustrating because they think they're doing great, but from all of your point of views, you know that this person just is not making any sense. Now, moving on to the sixth type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, and this one has been a problem a lot, and it's a problem in pretty much any competitive esports based game, and it's the meta Andy. And this is really the type of person who thinks that, hey, something is meta, so obviously you have to play it. And a lot of times you'll often hear players like this say, hey, Samito said Genji was trash, so obviously you can't play him in my bronze games. And yeah, okay, maybe Genji is bad in the upper ranks of the game, but none of that matters when you're in a low rank. Individual skill matters way more. And it seems that a lot of times meta Andes really would rather you play exactly what the pros play, even if none of you know how to play those characters. They just want it to be like a photocopy because obviously you play what the pros play, you win, right? It's just as simple as that. There's no other possible explanation. Now, sometimes it's even more hilarious when not only do they want to define themselves to a certain meta, you and your team, they want you to play whatever meta it is, but they don't even know what the meta is, so they make up a meta, or they're like 10 metas behind, and they're like, let's go Diva Winston Dive, this is the only thing we can play or else we're gonna lose. And you're like, dude, it hasn't been Diva Winston Dive in like 5 seasons. But they don't know. Maybe they don't play the game that much or whatever, but for some reason, meta matters so much to these type of people, and I know that a lot of you have ran into these type of people in your games. But let's move on to the number 7, the 7th type of player or teammate that you get in your games in Overwatch, and it's the Mr. After the Fact. This one is so beautiful because somehow this person knew exactly what everyone should have done after you already lost the team fight or the game. He calls out, oh, you should have done this, you should have done this, obviously the enemy team had this ult and that ult, and you should have played around it in this way. And they really break it down play by play about how every single person besides themselves messed up, and they knew all the information. Well, they didn't relay any of that information, of course. They didn't tell you what you could have done ahead of time. They didn't give any helpful callouts or advice, but they do complain about the fact that everything went wrong. And we'll go to the next type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, the 8th type of teammate that we all get in Overwatch no matter what rank we're in, and it's the can we get an X for X. Now, all the time, this will be players that think that a character on the enemy team deserves one particular character to counter that character, and that's the only thing that you can do to go forward. It's like, hey, the enemy team has a Winston, swap Reaper right now. Yep, you gotta swap Reaper. Swap it right now. That's the only character that you can play. Or maybe you're playing Ana, and he's like, get off Ana, go to Brig. You obviously have to because the enemy has a Wrecking Ball. And you're like, what the heck? The Wrecking Ball hasn't even domed me one time. Well, it doesn't matter because we need X for X. These are the type of players that really see the game in one particular way, and they want everyone on their team to just do exactly what they think would be the way to win every single time. Very, very linearly, very, very direct. And a lot of times they're very prone to be toxic if you just say, hey, I don't know how to play that character, or hey, I don't want to filter that character, I don't think it's a good play. They're just gonna lose their freaking minds. And yeah, I know many of you have had this teammate in your games. Now, moving on to the 9th type of teammate that you get in Overwatch. This is the he's hacking. And this is hilarious because they'll die to someone one time, especially if, let's say they're a DPS, like they're a Widowmaker, they die to the enemy Widowmaker. Obviously, the enemy Widowmaker is hacking. Now, you're gonna die to that Widowmaker too pretty soon afterwards, and you're gonna see that that Widowmaker missed like 3 shots, and you're gonna say, hey, bro, I really don't think he's hacking. And he's like, yes, he is hacking, report him. And you're like, no, I don't think he's hacking. And then he wants to throw the game. This is very, very frustrating because instead of just admitting that they're just playing bad or maybe just not saying anything altogether, they want to just throw out accusations all over the place. You know, a little bit of that 0.25 action, if you get what I'm saying. Definitely a very frustrating player or teammate that you can get in Overwatch. And if notable players have taught us anything, it's that this type of player can exist no matter what rank you are in Overwatch. Now, moving on to the 10th type of teammate that you get in Overwatch, this is the typing Andy, who will never actually talk to you at all. He'll roast you, he'll say to the enemy how his teammates are trash, he'll complain complain, and it feels like sometimes in the middle of a freaking team fight, he's just typing about his teammates. But the thing is, he's never gonna talk in mic. He's never gonna talk to you, but he's gonna complain all day, and it feels like he's writing an essay over the course of the game. And these type of players are really honestly probably just scared to talk to you, and they just want to vent out their frustration. But realistically, this is one of the most annoying type of teammates you could get, because if you had any problems or solutions to the problems that were going on in the game, at least some active comms might have helped. And if you have any complaints, at the very least you could say them in team chat, because just typing like a freaking essay when people are gonna glance at it and then forget about it, I mean, it's just kind of pathetic. But that's just my opinion. Definitely let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and comment down below any of the other types of teammates that you get in your games that I might have missed. I know that there are so many types of terrible teammates that we all get in Overwatch, and it feels like every single day is another day to find a new type of terrible teammate. But go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for in-depth advanced VODs, tips and tricks, map guides, hero courses. We got so much on the GameLeap website for you, so go check it out in the links down below. But thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I got for today. I'm Coach Mills, and until next time,